The one thing I wanted to talk about now, and I'm not going to wait to the end because the public speaks first, but however, I want to talk about an issue that I'm going to propose to this commission. And I want to thank the chairman for letting me do this. And basically, tonight I want to address a policy issue that affects not just every person in Sandoval County, but hundreds of thousands of people across the state, this great state. A couple weeks ago, and tonight as well I see, we had numerous people from Sandoval County and Bernalillo County speak out passionately regarding oil and gas. Some were advocating for a total moratorium on drilling, and some were advocating for more restrictions on drilling operations. The common denominator is these people do not want our economy tied to oil and gas. Bottom line is I support them, and I agree with them. So what policy mechanism is available for us to use? Mr. Chairman, tonight I propose for the first time in the history of Sandoval County a right-to-work ordinance. Vice Chair Heil and I have been working on a draft ordinance for a couple weeks, and we will present this to the commissioners, county manager, and county attorney very soon for review prior to this item being on the commission in July for a vote. I recently approached Mr. Grindado, who leads our Sandoval Economic Alliance, due to his expertise on economic development. I asked him to look at how right to work could positively affect our economy here in Sandoval County. I specifically asked him about recruiting renewable energy companies to New Mexico and why it is difficult to land them and why it is difficult for them to grow here with our near year-round sunshine and wind capability. Simply put, the market and economics of renewables does not add up since oil is still very affordable for the consumer. Second, renewable companies work only with large tax subsidies according to Sandoval Economic Alliance. Arizona and California have significantly larger tax subsidies than New Mexico. Plus, as many of you know, as Representative Jason Harper well knows, the tax structure here is much more complex, and that turns businesses off. One of the questions I asked Mr. Grindado was, how has right to work affected us compared to Texas, Utah, Arizona, and Oklahoma, who are right to work states? And has this affected manufacturing companies or even renewable energy companies from locating their businesses here? The answer is as expected. Right to work influences business decisions, especially by site location consultants who quickly eliminate any state without right to work. These decisions tend to affect larger companies like Fortune 500 companies over smaller companies. The takeaway here is that New Mexico can't even get out of the starting blocks when competing with our right to work neighbors. My contention is not if, but when we bring right to work to Sandoval County, it will attract large companies, maybe another Intel or two, and this will help to diversify the economy away from oil and gas. But what is needed is much more than that. We need to create 1,500 plus acre industrial sites with utilities that is infrastructure ready. We need to move on PDV, coupled with a $50 billion IRB this county passed, and right to work to attract these jobs and put our people back to work. If we look at South Carolina, for example, and the companies they attracted, BMW, Volvo, Boeing, these are large unionized companies that were tired of constantly negotiating. The combination of things I mentioned earlier was the secret to success in building a reputation for large manufacturers. Why can't we do that here in Sandoval County? Our workforce here in Sandoval County and New Mexico is just as good or better than South Carolina's. Our people deserve the same opportunities as the people there. Another great example is the Golden Triangle of Mississippi and their success. Please go to Google and see how Mississippi is beating us when it comes to landing large companies. Additionally, economic development consultants report that most companies prefer to locate new plants in areas with right-to-work laws. It was no accident that the foreign transplant automakers built almost all their U.S. plants in right-to-work states. Yet here at home, our state unemployment rate is 6.7%, the highest in the country. Our neighbors in Arizona and Texas are at 5%. Utah is 3.1%. Oklahoma is 4.3%. And Colorado is at 2.3%. All those states are right to work except Colorado. However, Colorado has a legalized marijuana industry, and that may affect its numbers along with the balanced budget amendment. Even here in Sandoval County, our unemployment rate is above 6%. And I believe it is even higher than that when you count people who are no longer looking for work or those who have fell off the unemployment rolls. I firmly believe if we had right to work, our unemployment rate would decrease to below 5% within 3 to 5 years when combined with other elements like industrial site access, infrastructure, and an IRB. Putting these elements together is a game changer for the people of this county and this state. Mr. Chairman, lastly, I want to discuss an issue that happened right here in Rio Rancho with a school cafeteria worker that gained some national attention. You may remember on March 8, 2017, Yumiko Trailer was told by her employer that her employment would be terminated if she did not sign a union membership card and allow deductions from her hard-earned paycheck to go toward union dues. Mrs. Trailer is a cafeteria worker here in Rio Rancho, and she refused because New Mexico is not a right-to-work state. Non-member workers can be forced to pay a portion of union dues as a condition of employment. A month later, on April 28th, Mrs. Trailer's employer sent her a written warning that she would be terminated unless she signed the membership card. She once again refused. However, afraid that she would lose her job for exercising her federally protected right to refuse to join a union, Mrs. Trailer signed the membership card under protest. This is not what our country is about. We believe in the philosophy of self-determination, that we can control our own destiny and not be forced to pay union dues or any fees for that matter as a condition of our employment. We are at a crisis in this state with the highest unemployment rate in America, the lowest high school graduation rates in our nation, the highest child poverty rates in the country, and high crime that threatens the fabric of our society. This county is also in an economic crisis. Just right down the street from us, Intel has downsized 2,000 jobs since 2013. Director Ryan of Community Services recently talked about hunger and health in our state and discussed studies that show a healthy economy leads to a healthy society, and I cannot agree with her more. This state and its elected leaders have sat back and done nothing to move this state forward except talk. The time for talk is over. It is time for action. And the people who elected us to move this state forward are impatient, as well as they should be. Right to work moves the state forward by severing the bonds of dependence on the federal government and oil and gas. I ask my fellow commissioners to do the right thing and vote for the people so they can earn more wealth, save for their children's future, buy a house, save for a much-needed vacation, and put something away for their own retirement. We have too many people in poverty. It is time to invest in them with right to work. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and those conclude my remarks for now until a later time. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Block.